Okay, we're back. Good. Okay. Going back into this, we understand that according to Genesis, the 26th, Esau sold his birthright to his brother. And Genesis 27, at the end of that Genesis 27, we're starting to see here that Esau is upset because Jacob received not only the birthright but the blessing of his father Isaac. Now this is fulfilling the beginning of a struggle within the earth. That struggle is for the dominion, power, and rulership contained in Abraham's promises. Okay, you have Ishmael, which is upset, which is primarily the Arabs, because Isaac received the blessings over him, even though he was 13 years old when Sarah bare. Then you have Esau, the father of what you would call the European powers in the earth today, who was upset because he was the firstborn, but yet the blessing went to his younger brother, who came out second, Jacob. All right. So that is the beginning of the variations of warfare and bloodshed that we see in the earth today. All right. So I'm going to go through the Bible and show you how these two seeds operate within the earth. Like I said earlier, we're going to show you how this linked to the Masonic order of destroying Jacob's seed. And we'll also go into how the Jewish powers infiltrated Christianity so that they can attack God's people and have them call on Satan their God. We're going to go into all that. Go to Genesis 36. Let's go to Genesis 36. And let's start at the first verse.
Genesis chapter 36 verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom.
Esau is Edom. Edom means red. Okay, now we're not bringing this out for separation or anything like that. Okay, we know that Israel is spread throughout the four corners of the earth. And there's some Israelites that look just like Edom. So this is not about dividing on racial lines. We're just showing you, according to the scriptures, the battle between the woman seed and the serpent seed in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. It says, now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Read.
Verse 2. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite.
Go ahead.
And Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. And Adah bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Bashemath bare Ruel.
So as you can see, Ishmael, which was one family that was against Isaac, and Esau, which is another family that was against Jacob, came together and had children together in the beginning. Now both of these families have a problem with Israel, or Jacob's seed. Now the reason I'm bringing this out, because when you read the 4th verse, read the 4th verse.
Verse 4. And Adah bare to Esau Eliphaz.
And Adah bare to Esau Eliphaz. Adah was a daughter of a Horite. That correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the daughter of a Horite. The Horites were the seeds of Nephilim, or giants in the earth. So this particular seed from Esau had what you would call fallen angels' blood, or Nephilim blood. Read.
Verse 5. And Ahalabamah bare Jewesh, and Jaalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau.
Let's go straight to Amalek.
Verse 12.
Read.
And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son.
Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. Now, mind you, Eliphaz already have Nephilim blood. And it says here, now mind you, it says in the 11th verse, and the sons of Eliphaz was Teman, that you read in Obadiah, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. All these children I just read in Genesis 11th chapter were linked to the children that went over into Greece or into Chittim during the time of Joseph, when Joseph and the 12 brethren were in Egypt. That's when these particular families went over into Europe. These particular families here, you can read that in the book of Jasher. So before that, there was no such thing as Edomites in Europe. At that time, you had all Asians in Europe. These families are directly from Nephilim seed. Read the 12th verse.
Verse 12. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek.
And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. Read.
These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife.
Now, Amalek is the father of the Jewish race today. That's the family in which the Most High put a spirit on David to fight against in the Old Testament. They linked up with Nephilim, and that seed would eventually try to destroy the seed of the children of Israel. We're going to bring that from past time up into today. Let's get Timnah. Timnah's father.
Verse 20 down to 22.
Read verse 20 and 20 down to 22. Read it.
These are the sons of Seir the Horite.
These are the sons of Seir the Horite. Now mind you, Horites are not from the seed of men. Horites were from the seed of the giants, or the residue of the giants that was in the land of Canaan when our people went in to Israel during the time of Jericho and marched around Israel, the wall. The wall fell down and the Horites ran into Mount Seir. These are Nephilim. These are not from the seeds of men. Do your research yourself. This is the family that Esau linked into to have Amalek, or the father of whom we call the Jewish people today. Read.
These are the sons of Seir the Horite, who inhabited the land, Lotan and Shabal, and Zibeon and Anah, and Dishan, and Ezer, and Dishan. These are the dukes of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom.
Now what people actually have dukes within their royalhood? The European powers today. They set their factions and their authority, they parallel that to their rule in Mount Seir. Now as you can see, Anah, which is one of the daughters of the Horite, this was the daughter that married Esau. It's one of the sons. Excuse me. Read.
Verse 21. And verse 22. And the children of Lotan were Hori and Heman. And Lotan's sister was Timnah.
And say that again.
And Lotan's sister was Timnah.
And Lotan's sister was who?
Was Timnah.
Was Timnah. So I know a lot of you read these names and you get bored with them and say, well, let's skip over this. This stuff is boring. You must go into the names to understand the seeds of men within the earth today. Now I understand through Timnah linking them with Amalek having a child, that man end up linking in with the Nephilim, the same as they did before the flood, when angels came and slept with women and bare Nephilim. So these children are the seed of Satan. These children are not from the original creation of the Most High God in the beginning. They're not from the seed of Abel. They're not from the seed of Seth. Yes, Esau is through the seed of Abraham, but he took on a woman of the Horites. And because of this, the Jewish people today do not go through the family tree on the man's side like you see in the Bible. They actually go by their seed on the woman or mother side. Why? Because the Nephilim side came through the mother. Now there's more. We're going to link this thing all the way in because it brings us up to the Roman Empire. You're going to find out that the Romans themselves, Julius Caesar, Claudius Caesar, all these people that were over the Roman Empire were from the seed of Amalek. They were Idumeans who were set up for that specific purpose, according to the Bible, to attack the woman's seed, which is Israel. Now, mind you, they would operate like a serpent seed. So they would deceive you into thinking there's something they are not. Now, let's go to Isaiah 14. And we're going to go to the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Follow us clearly. I want Isaiah first. Isaiah 14. Just hold Isaiah 14. Now this lesson you'll have in detail in the book that's almost complete. That you'll be able to get all these lessons within this one book. Alright? Isaiah 14. And I need you to go to the 12th verse.
Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
How did you get cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Talking about Lucifer. Lucifer was Satan's original name before he was hurled from the heavens. This is the God that's being worshipped today through Masonic orders. The governments in the earth today are Luciferian governments. Lucifer is the power who have given the Roman Empire and the Jewish powers their understanding on how to rule the earth. They worship Lucifer not as the fallen one, but as the original cherub that covereth the mercy seat in the heavens. They worship him as if he's still in heaven. So the Bible is asking, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Read.
Which didst weaken the nations.
That did weaken the nations. Read.
Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
So he said, he promised Lucifer that he would one day go back into the heavenly realm and sit on the throne of our Father, Ahia. That he would exalt himself above the throne of the Most High. Read.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
Go ahead.
In the sides of the north.
In the sides of the north. Read.
Verse 14. I will also ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
He will be like the Most High. So Lucifer himself is a power that wished to be worshipped on the earth. But of course, God's people would not purposely worship Lucifer or Satan, would they? But there's a people that would. There's a people in this earth that would exalt Lucifer as the God of all gods because he gives them power. He gives them understanding. He gives them education. He gives them understanding of the earth as well as the heavens. He's their God. We're going to find out who these people are. Read.
Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
But he will be brought down to hell. Read. He will be changed by our Lord. Read.
Verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that didst shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof?
Now we're going to show you who's the people that are actually linked to Lucifer. We're going back to Daniel. We're going back to Isaiah 14. I need you to hold that, okay? But I need you to slide over to Daniel, the 2nd chapter. We're going right back to Isaiah 14.
Daniel chapter 2 verse 40.
Read.
And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron.
It says the fourth kingdom in Daniel shall be strong as iron. We know according to the Bible that fourth kingdom, or that fourth beast in Daniel, is talking about the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire. Read.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things. And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
It shall be partly strong and partly broken. Talking about the Roman Empire. But listen to what it says in the 43rd verse. Read.
Verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So the Roman people are not just people. They was mingled with the Nephilim. That's why it says they. The they are the Nephilim. Shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Who is that? The Roman Empire. These were the people that were behind the mass slaughter of the saints and the death of our Lord and Savior. Read.
But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Read.
And in the days of these kings shall the Most High God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
To let you know that the last kingdom that will come after the Roman Empire, which will stand forever, and America is an extension of the Roman Empire. They're in their last leg. And the reason there's so much evil in the earth and wickedness within the earth is because the same Nephilim that taught wickedness and the splicing of animals and the mixture of people before the flood are now ruling after the flood. They are the powers over the earth today. So these people that are financing this earth degradation are not actually people at all. They're Satan's seed, and they're mixed with Nephilim blood. They have no care for this world. They have no care for the people because they're not regular people. And they have a plan to go into the heavens with Lucifer and rule the universe. That's what they're thinking in their deceived minds. So they don't care what happened to the earth. They don't care how many animals are killed, how many sea creatures are killed. They don't care if the human race is totally extinct, because they are not of the same race. Talking about the Mount of Esau. They are mixed with what they would call the blood of gods. Zeus, Mercury, and all Jupiter, all these different gods were renowned Nephilim before the flood. The Horites are now mixed with Esau, and now you have a hybrid people on the earth controlling the earth. And Christ was at variance with them. Go back to Genesis, go back to Isaiah, the 14th chapter. And start at the 28th verse.
Isaiah chapter 14 verse 28.
Go ahead.
In the year that King Ahaz died, this was this burden.
This was a burden during the time of King Ahaz. Read.
Verse 29. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice.
Out of the serpent's root shall come a cockatrice, or a cockatrice. Read.
And his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent.
And his fruit shall be what?
A fiery flying serpent.
His fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. Now let's examine that for a minute. Let's get the cockatrice first. Let's get cockatrice. Let's examine this for a second. A cockatrice actually means an adder. A-D-D-E-R. An adder was a venomous snake. An adder is a venomous snake. Now, you're going to have to do your research on this, because I'm going to give you all some detailed information that can bring this whole thing together. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice. That's what an adder, which is what we would call a venomous snake. And his fruit, that means his children, shall be a fiery flying serpent. Don't forget, we went to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, to show the battle between the woman seed and the serpent seed. Can we find this cockatrice that would try to bruise our people? Go to Revelations, the 12th chapter. Let's go to Revelations 12 and see if we can find this serpent that would attempt to sneak and bite and destroy and poison God's people. Revelations 12. And mind you, I have to give full credit to the Spirit of the Most High, working with brother and elder lawyer, because he was studying this, but wasn't quite sure, but he was on it, but didn't know if it fit. And when I seen it, I knew it. When you go into Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and the 28th verse, it makes you think that these people are actually Philistines, or the people in the Philistine area. But the scriptures was actually talking prophetic in the future. It was talking about the people that would actually own those areas in the last days. Go to Revelations 12. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.